The war between Queen's Quest and Orotai is escalating. I am Chris with the Joshi Wrestling Recap for Stardom March 12th, 2022, available on Stardom World. This show was dominated by the best of 5 series between Queen's Quest and Orotai. I'll go into more detail when I get to those matches, but there was also some fun matches before that. This was a multi-camera show with no commentary. The first match was a friendly competition between two Stars members, Momo Coco and the newly returned Sai Ida. This was a nice match, I was entertained. Momo Coco came out of the gates quick with a dropkick right when the bell rang, and followed that with a dropkick to Sai Ida's back. Sai Ida put a stop to Momo's attacks though with a body slam. Momo Coco and Sai Ida played well off each other. They are both charismatic and have different wrestling styles that meshed well. Momo Kogo is more of a lucha style, while Sai Ida is a powerhouse. Throughout the match, Momo Kogo would have success when she relied on her speed or high flying, but when she tried to match Sai Ida in striking or strength, she was quickly put down. An example of this is when she tried to trade chops with Sai Ida and it did not go well for her. Momo Kogo was on a bit of a run, hitting a DDT, a 619, and a top rope dropkick, but Sai Ida's sit-out powerbomb put an end to that, and a lariat and a Northern Lights suplex by Sai Ida won her the match via pinfall. No hard feelings after the match, and they both helped each other to the back. The next match on the card was a continuation of the Donald Del Mondo vs. Cosmic Angels feud. For Donald Del Mondo, we had Tekla, Mei Sakurai, Mirai, and Julia. Cosmic Angels were Tam Nakano, Mina Shirakawa, Unaga Sayaka, and Wakatsukiyama. This was a fun, chaotic, and at times confusing match. I like the chaos and I'm always up to be surprised. Cosmic Angels did their dance to the ring, but Waka was worse than before. Also, Waka looked serious, which I like to see. She's in a match with her rival, Mei Sakurai. The match started with a giant brawl between both teams. Donald Del Mondo was able to clear the ring and isolated Tam Nakano and proceeded to gang up on her until the ref got everyone out except for Tom and Mei Sakurai. Tam Nakano was able to tag in Unaga Sayaka after Cosmic Angels did some ganging up of their own on Mei Sakurai. This match was better in my opinion than the Donald Del Mondo and Cosmic Angels bout from March 5th. There was more animosity between the teams, I felt. There were two spots in the match I'd like to highlight. The first is when Tekla was able to get Mina, Waka, and Tam in her rope-hung figure-forward neck lock, the Jurugumo, at the same time. The second spot is a near fall I really bid on, and the audience did also. Mei Sakurai hit a new move on Wakatsukiyama, a leg slam with a very compact pin that looked really hard to kick out of, but Wakatsukiyama did. Mei Sakurai and Wakatsukiyama were in the ring for a while, but Mei couldn't keep Waka down. Julia ran in and hit a Michinoku driver on Waka, which Mei Sakurai followed with a top corner elbow drop and put Waka away with a front face buster for the pinfall. After the bell, Mei Sakurai offered a handshake to Wakatsukiyama, which she rejected and attacked Mei instead. I would like to note one other thing about this match. Julia didn't tag in the whole match. She was in the match to help with combo moves and there was some brawling, but I don't know if she took a bump the whole match. Hopefully she isn't injured, and her not tagging in was just a weird quirk of the match. The third match was a fun and action-packed match between Donald Del Mondo and Stars. For Donald Del Mondo, we had Shuri, Himeka, Maika, and Natsupoi versus the Stars team of Kaguma, Hanan, Miyu Iwatani, and Hazuki. If you don't like when teammates come into the ring to help, this match would not be for you. There were a lot of triple team and quad team spots. Maika and Kaguma started and immediately Kaguma tried to get Maika to do the Kuma pose. Maika was able to keep control over herself and rejected the siren song of the Kuma pose. Kaguma and Maika had a fun section after that. They seemed to enjoy working with each other. As I said before, the match was action-packed and I meant it. Tags were often, moves were happening all the time, lots of team combinations and many pins were broken up. Shuri and Hazuki had a short but hard-hitting section against each other that made me excited for future one-on-one matches between them. There was also a scary stereo tope suicida by Hazuki and Miyu Iwatani, in which Miyu's feet hit the ropes and she went a bit short but was still caught. After taking a beating from everyone in Donald Del Mondo, Hanan got hit by a new to me finisher from Natsupoi, the Fairing Ring, and Donald Del Mondo won. After the bell, Mei Iwatani again tried to steal the Wonder of Stardom red belt, but was caught and Shuri took the belt back. Next was the beginning of the special Queen's Quest vs. Orotai Best of 5 series. These two factions have been feuding since last year. and was highlighted by Momo Watanabe's defecting from Queen's Quest, a stable she had been in for 5 years, to OData. Queen's Quest vowed revenge on Momo Watanabe's sins, which brought us to this match. The matchups and match order were selected by a special version of Tug of War. There were 5 ropes run across the ring, but they were mixed up in the middle so you could not see which rope ends match. And 5 members of each team pulled on the rope, and that is how their opponent was decided. The first match was Utami Haishishida versus Momo Watanabe. It surprised me that this was the first match. I was expecting it to be the last match. They have been keeping these two away from each other in singles competitions since the defection of Momo. Even if it wasn't the main event, these two wrestlers put on a great match. The match was pretty conventional with a test of strength start and some mat wrestling, but that really made it feel like a fight, which heightened the tension. That is how I would describe this match, a fight between two wrestlers who really didn't like each other. There was a lot of Nasukatora interference in this match, which gave Momo Watanabe the advantage. Momo Watanabe threw a lot of kicks at Utami Haishishida, and especially targeted her leg. The match went in and out of the ring, and with Nasukatora running interference, it even including a chair shot to Utami's back. OData tactics can backfire sometimes too, though. Instead of pressing the advantage she had over Utami Haishishida and pinning her, Momo Watanabe wanted to injure Utami and got a wrench. Utami kicked Momo off the apron before she could load her boot with the wrench, and Utami followed Momo outside the ring and got the wrench out of her hand and threw it away. They then proceeded to brawl on the floor. The ref was yelling at them to get back in the ring, but it was too late. Time limit draw. It looks like the final match between these two is still to come. The next in the best of 5 series was Saki Kashima versus Lady C. This match was fine, but she knew the outcome before the match even started. It felt like the kind of match you would see in the opener. Saki Kashima has been winning a lot of matches against less experienced roster members in opening matches. Saki Kashima tried to lure in Lady C with a handshake, but Lady C declined and turned her back, which Saki used to start pulling Lady C's hair. From then on, Saki Kashima had control over Lady C for most of the match. Lots of kicks and submission attempts by Saki Kashima on Lady C, but Lady C's long legs enabled her to get to the ropes easily. Lady C did get to hit a choke slam and a giant swing on Saki, but that was almost all the offense she got. After an impressive striking combo by Saki Kashima, she followed that with a boot to Lady C's head, then her version of the kill switch, the My Emblem, for the pinfall victory. The third in the best of 5 series was a match between Izumi and Rina. This was a good and pretty fun match. These two seem comfortable fighting each other. Physical strength wise, both of them are close, but Izumi does have the speed and experience advantage, which she used in this match. They started with a test of strength, but Izumi knew Rina's stomping trick and then reversed it and stomped on Rina's foot instead. This match was more back and forth than I was expecting, but it made sense. Both of them seemed to have counters to each other's moves, so no one really had advantage for long. There was one Izumi counter on one of Rina's submissions that really impressed me with how smooth it was. Rina brought the match to the outside by pushing Izumi off the top corner to the floor, and tried to get a count-out victory by dragging Izumi far from the ring. Rina's math was a bit off though, and she gave too much time for Izumi to recover and get back in the ring, even with Momo Watanabe running interference. After they both trade pin attempts back in the ring, Izumi gets her special pin, the Izumi Sushi, on Rina, and the 3 count. The next match in this best of 5 series was Sai Kamitani versus Rwaka. I don't really know what to say about this match, it just kind of felt like it was there. Sai and Rwaka started with a collar and elbow, which Rwaka won pretty easily. Rwaka followed that with some shoulder tackles. Overall, in this match it looked like Rwaka was having a bit of fun. She did her punch to the gut spot 4 times, and when Sai Kamitani hit a bridging suplex on her, she responded with one of her own. There was a nice near fall though. Nasukatora, who was ringside, hit Sai Kamitani with her pipe, and Rwaka followed that with a senton, but Sai Kamitani kicked out. The actual finish of the match was kind of out of nowhere. Sai Kamitani hit a Frankensteiner with the pin on Rwaka and got the 3 count. After the bell, Rwaka kicked Sai Kamitani a few times and hit her in the head with her box. That brings us to the final match of the best of 5. Starlight Kid versus the new rookie, Miyu Umasaki. You can tell Miyu Umasaki is green, but considering this is only her second match, she did very well. You can see her potential. Miyu Umasaki attacked with a dropkick before the bell and the match started. I thought this was a good way to start the match, showing the rookie had some aggression. Miyu wasn't able to keep her advantage for long though. This match was a bit on the slower pace, and I was surprised how much Starlight Kid gave to Miyu Umasaki, but it was still a good match. Miyu Umasaki may have been selling a bit too much is my biggest critique. There was a point in the match where it looked like Starlight Kid wanted her to be on the attack, but she was selling forearms to Starlight Kid like they were deadly. Stuff like that can be taught, and Miyu is pretty smooth considering her experience. It took Lady C like 6 months to get to the level Miyu Umasaki is now. Starlight Kid won the match with a Texas Cloverleaf submission after she had been targeting Miyu's back previously. Nothing was resolved. The best of 5 series ended in a tie. 2 wins, 2 losses, and a draw for each team. After the match, it sounded like they were heading to another faction versus faction match, with the stipulation the losing team has to disband. I don't know when that would happen. Probably not until after the Cinderella tournament, which starts in April. Izumi also got on the mic and said Queen's Quest would have a meeting about who would be their leader. They have been leaderless since Momo Watanabe left. And it also looks like Rina and Hanan's sister, is coming back soon. She's been gone about 8 months studying for entrance exams, which finished. Overall, this was a good show for Stardom. I thought the Momo Watanabe versus Utami Haishishida match was great, and I liked the third match between Donald Del Mondo and Stars. The next show will be on the 13th, and we'll have an Artist of Stardom Trios title match between Queen's Quest and the current champs Donald Del Mondo. This has been the Joshi Wrestling Recap for Stardom March 12th, 2022. Thanks for listening.